Most important thing out of the way first. Come on. Hey, you get back here. Split open.
Just rip the toy.
Quick, somebody get me a bow. I told you should have gotten a giant pretzel from the concession stand. There weren't any cherries in the damn machine.
There weren't.
No.
I am the
just
king
a
of the claw machine, goddammit.
There was a shrunken head in there.
There was.
Yeah, and then
That would've been
what was
weird.
it, like a ninja coconut?
A
Yes.
ninja coconut. All the classic Batman,
Yes.
Batman characters.
Yes. Ninja coconut being key. I mean, I guess it's the most food-like thing in there.
We went to the smaller theater this time because we knew it would be a zoo at the theater we usually go to, so we went here where it's typically dead, and it was, which was awesome.
It was us filling up a row, and then there were maybe like 10, 15 other people.
At the most.
If fucking that.
At the most, and we got here like an hour more early just in case, and like they weren't even. You always show up like 5 minutes before.
It's like, oh, is there a movie going on?
Yeah, let's watch the movie. They're holding a seat for me.
Well, Letty and I were pulling up, and we're like, oh man, I hope it's not too crazy busy. I know 12 is going to be crazy. And then we pulled up, and there's like 15 cars out here. I'm like,
We got here, there was like 3 cars. We got here, and
the employees.
they were taking down the Scary Movie 5 banner to put up Iron Man 3. So it was
like,
Wait, so were they still showing Scary Movie 5 earlier today?
fucking apparently, it was the same theater Dave and I saw, the same room Dave and I saw.
it was the
in.
exact same room.
Yeah. But I mean, like, so they weren't even done cleaning theaters here, but I mean, at the same time over at fucking 12, it would have already been fucking packed in those tiny ass theaters. So the Iron Man 3, what'd everyone think?
It was very good.
Done.
Bye!
Well, I don't know as much from comic books as you guys do, but I was here for the Robert Downey Jr. as a Dreamboat camp, and he was a super Dreamboat.
He was very dreamy.
He was excited.
Very much so.
I swooned
So did I.
at least twice.
I swim like 2.5 times.
I had a 4 on like 5.
Well,
there's plenty of
Some
time.
people
It's
are
not
more
like he wore the
sensitive.
Iron Man armor much at
I
all.
am a sensitive man.
Yeah, he spent most of the movie outside of the Iron Man
It was
armor. I
called-
think that they were appealing to my camp.
Should have been called Tony Stark, the movie.
I was actually really cool with that.
Yeah, I was too.
I actually really liked that about the movie, that it was Tony Stark basically improvising because he doesn't have his armor, because he's put in a situation like that where he has to kind of come up with shit on the fly.
Yeah, it made him more vulnerable.
It made him a lot more vulnerable. Many things about the movie made his character a lot more vulnerable. The fact that his character in the movie is dealing with anxiety issues because of the events from the Avengers and stuff like that, I liked that. I liked that and that's one of the reasons why I like the other 2 movies as well, is that there are characters in this series of Iron Man films that have genuine reactions to shit, that have how somebody would actually react to that kind of stuff going on. So when a character mentions previous things that Tony Stark has done, he has a panic attack. I really, really liked that a lot. And even other things too, like
they addressed stuff that happened in the Avengers movie, like when he was talking to the bad guy. He's like, after that guy fell out of the sky with a hammer, we're kind of done with subtlety.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is that it's also genuinely funny. It isn't just simply one-liners he's throwing out. It's something, the character is well written enough to where that's something he would say. It's just not some cheesy one-liner because it's a movie. It's something that's a well thought out line, and it is funny and it is effective because of that, but it's also genuine. And plus, I like any movie that throws out a Westworld reference.
Yeah, that was a little random, but awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, you make a good point, because he's got a lot of one-liners, especially when dealing with Pepper, but it kind of it fits in the dynamic of their relationship.
It does. It's using humor as a defense mechanism, which is
Yeah.
what he does and stuff like that. And I really, really liked that a lot. I thought it was a fun movie. I thought it was a really fun flick. But what did the comic book people think?
well, yeah, I mean, it reminded me a lot, like Alex mentioned, how he's pretty much sans ensemble.
Yeah.
The yeah, you
Fancy.
like that?
I did. It. Oh yeah.
But no, it reminded me more of like some of the more modern stories they've told over the past couple of years. Like there was one, I think it was called like Iron Man Disassembled or something like that,
Yeah.
where he basically gives up everything and is like making shit like from scratch in fucking alleys and shit like that. I mean, kind of similar to
That was great. Going to
Yeah.
it was the second movie we've seen in a row where characters go to a Home Depot.
Yeah.
Significantly less dark in this movie.
Get like Christmas ornaments and like
Yeah,
glue
that's
guns
another thing, too.
and poisoning.
I was like, best superhero Christmas movie since Batman Returns.
Dude, yeah, I was just like, Shane Black made another fucking Christmas movie. God damn it. The man loves the holidays.
That was something I actually kind of wondered about, like a good portion of the way through. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a Christmas movie, huh? I wonder if he did that on purpose.
Oh, did you see the area where they were kind of fighting in, where they were like selling Christmas trees that looked a lot like the
Yeah.
set from the beginning of Lethal Weapon when Riggs is undercover? That was kind of cool.
They referenced the Christmas Story when that one random kid
Yes.
with the
Yeah,
glasses.
he calls him Ralphie. I'm doing a Christmas story.
But
Oh, man.
no, I really liked the. Yeah, I mean, it was an action movie that was character driven. Like it wasn't just big actiony set pieces that move the story forward. Those actual people doing things.
Well, Marvel has been really good at that.
But even the big action.
I mean,
scenes-
Well, the ones that they actually have their hands in.
Yeah, no, they've been really good at that, and I think that's the key to them being successful. It's not just like, hey, shit blows up, and then you forget about it 5 minutes later. You like get invested in it.
Yeah.
and those the big action set pieces in the movie were really well done.
Yeah, they flowed fluidly. I think
Yeah.
like because like he's jumping back and forth out of these Iron Man costumes, and it
Yeah.
kind of like it makes him flow from one corner of the set to the other because he's like in and
Yeah.
out of these outfits.
Where all the people are flying out of the airplane, and there was that whole sequence where he's catching all of them. That was really, really well done. That was really well put. And the final action sequence there with Guy Pearce, I'm amazing. It's amazing Tony Stark didn't call him Firestarter at any point in the movie.
He had some good nicknames, and I've been trying to
He
think of
did,
some.
yeah. But that was, or at the beginning of the movie, he could have called him Edward Nigma.
Yes.
Guy Pearce rocked in this. I thought Guy Pearce was really fucking good in this movie. I mean, I love
He's
Guy
Guy
Pearce.
Pearce.
I always
I
enjoy
love
his
Guy
movies.
Pearce anyway. So
Yeah.
not only seeing Guy Pearce in this, but is like the heavy and honestly pretty creepy at that too.
Yeah.
Like he had those fucking steel red burning eyes and shit. I liked that. That was really, really good.
And when they had him in ugly face, they didn't like overdo it.
No,
like,
no,
He
yeah.
kind of had the same thing like what's her face?
Yeah, they
Poison
didn't-
Ivy and Batman and Robin. Like they uggoed him up at the beginning of the movie, but
A
it was
little
like
ugly
this-
Betty action going on.
They gave him
yeah.
like some fake teeth and kind of like some pock marks and like ruffled his hair, but
It was
wasn't-
a lot more realistic than him as Mr. Whalen.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god. But even that, like, he popped up on screen, and I instantly thought of like an Edward Nigma from Batman and Robin, because he turns back up
Yeah.
later. He's dressed like Val Kilmer. But I mean, that was kind of cool. But did you want to go off on the?
Yeah, you were complaining.
Alex is gonna go off on a tangent.
About the
I was
Mandarins.
sitting next to him.
Slide
so I
back here
could-
a little bit.
I could-
What the
Yeah.
fuck? How do you fuck up the Mandarin? Jesus fucking shit.
Well, he's like a magician, isn't he? That's
He's
kinda hard
Iron
to
Man's
deal with
fucking arch
realistically.
nemesis. That's like, oh hey,
You're thinking
Joker's
of
a real
Mandrake
clown.
from like the Defenders of the
No,
Earth.
doesn't he? He's got like his magical mystical rings, and he like does magic
he's the
things.
It's alien technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But still, his biggest arch nemesis, they made him a fucking joke.
Oh, should we talk about that? The
Okay,
twist halfway
okay.
through the
You know,
movie?
Yeah, well,
I know it
I-
pissed Alex off.
Oh,
I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I don't think
I
they
thought
made
it
him a
worked
joke.
really
I thought
well,
it was like,
and I love the fact that there was no clues about that going in watching it.
No, well, and it was one thing. Like I know that they had
Drop
said
me
it.
into nerd rage. Sorry.
They
You
had
know
said
what?
it early
I
on.
thought it was great.
Like when they were doing the first Iron Man movie was that because they allude to the Mandarin in the first one, mentioning like a terrorist cell called the Ten Rings, which he wears a ring on each finger.
That's the 10 rings.
But they kind of alluded to that. But I know that originally the plan was to push back, not do anything with him for a while, just because they hadn't really done any of the other big Marvel stuff yet. They hadn't done anything like Thor, and they wanted to see how something like that would work out. It's like, okay, well, what if we just start throwing out like magic-y shit? That'll seem really weird. Like, so that was the original plan, was to kind of push things back, and then apparently over time things changed.
well, I thought that the way that they did it was we're getting into spoilers here, but that's not new for these videos, was that they managed to have it both ways, you know, by having the Ben Kingsley Mandarin, you know, like the old school kind of like sort of character, but then the actual Mandarin, who's someone who can actually conceivably relate to Tony Stark on any level, like the way that they've created him in the movies. You know, you had your cake and you could eat it too.
Yeah, you know what? I would have loved for them to have gone along with Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin, as that serious character. I would have enjoyed that.
That's what
Probably
I was
more than
really
what they
wanting.
did. But what they did, I think, worked just fine.
I thought it
And
worked.
kept it interesting.
I thought it worked, and it did keep it interesting. And
That's right.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah,
did
but in
enjoy
both
it.
characters, that was my
the
favorite
movie
part
as
of
a
the
whole,
movie.
but-
Yeah, that was surprising. I can see why people will be upset by that. But I thought it was fine. I mean, I would have before he. Okay, well, here's just what happens. Halfway through the movie, it turns out that the Mandarin is an actor named Trevor.
A British junkie
A
actor.
British
named
junkie
Trevor.
actor, a drug-addicted actor who they hire to play the Mandarin. And
Well, he's
they-
essentially old Russell Brand.
Yeah. Good point.
But it was funny. It was surprising. I can see why people would be upset by that. And also, there was a slight disappointment too, in the sense that when it's showing him as the Mandarin before then, it's pretty intense and it is
yeah.
pretty scary.
Yeah, it's a little. So he's doing like his little fortune cookie bit.
Yeah, like that was really, really well done. And honestly, as much as the twist was surprising and it was kind of funny, and as much as I did like Guy Pearce as the Heavy, I would have liked them to actually explore how they set the Mandarin up in there and not have him turn out to be an actor named Trevor.
Yeah, I mean, it
Didn't ruin the movie for me.
No, it's not my favorite part of the movie. I would have liked it the other way around better, I think, but in the long run, it didn't really hurt the film for me at all. It was just
No, it didn't ruin. Because you guys know the comic way more than me, and when that happened, I'm like, that's weird. And there was a part of me that it was almost about to lean over to Alex,
and then
just
you
go
saw
like,
him like,
I was about to look at him like,
Why did I wear these 10 rings tonight? Fuck
like-
my life.
is that from the comics?
I probably would have
and
punched
I
you.
could see you twitching and shit, like right next to me, and just raging out right next. So I'm like, okay, well that answers my question. At the same time, though, I didn't hear Dave scream out bullshit. So I assumed,
I did at Batman.
I assumed Dave was fine with it.
yeah, I screamed that at Dark Knight Rises
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
times.
I think that the problem with keeping it developed is the Ben Kingsley, because they played up the terrorism aspect and played down the alien powers.
Yeah.
And I think it would have ended up being Iron Man versus Al Qaeda. Because
I don't have a problem with that.
and to a
Like,
certain-
honestly, I thought that was
That's
kind of
the
interesting.
the
But-
first one was kind of Iron Man.
well, yeah, but if that
versus
was
Al
all
Qaeda.
that it had
Yeah.
been, I probably would have been a little
Well,
disappointed.
yeah.
I personally really understand it from the story structure of the type of movie it is. What is going to be Iron Man fighting like an ancient old Ben Kingsley at the end of a movie? I mean, come on. It's not going to play out the
He
way
can send his
they want it
bitches
to.
after.
He's got his bitches, dude, and
He has
his
a
can
ping
of
pong
beer,
playing bitches.
Yes.
and his giant TV.
This bitch's
And his
speedboat.
ping pong playing bitches.
He is an Oscar-winning actor.
He is.
Sir,
It was Gandhi. even.
Sir
Sir
Ben
Ben
Kingsley. He's
Kingsley.
He's
knighted.
knighted it, no less.
He's been knighted.
Yeah, it didn't bug me that much. What bugged me more was the fucking kid.
Really, I like
Well,
that.
you know what? It
He was
worked.
kind of charming as far
It
as
worked.
kid
It
acting.
worked
precocious about
fine.
being
It was
coy.
about 10 minutes too long.
I agree with that.
I like that.
I didn't mind the kid.
Uh-huh.
I really he was fine. The kid did a good job. I give the kid credit. Most child actors are fucking shit. The kid did a good job. There was some great dialogue and go-betweens between him and Tony Stark, especially when like Tony's going his separate way and shit. But it was just a
You're
This
gonna
wasn't
leave
like
me just
some-
like my father? Yes.
He called him a pussy too. He's like, my dad didn't come back.
Your dads do that, don't be a pussy.
Dads do that. Just don't be a pussy.
See that? I think
Take a
that's
step
what
back.
made
I'm
it,
gonna run you over.
that's what made it okay for me. Is he didn't really treat him like a
Yeah,
short run
well,
sidekick. It was just like,
yeah.
all right, kid, go make me a
Shirley,
sandwich.
get our stuff.
and that's why it did work, but I just thought it was a little too long.
I liked it.
I like the fact that Tony Stark absolutely would not know how to interact with a child.
I liked
No,
it too. And
he
it
would
was
have no clue.
It was a kid character in a movie, and the performance too was good too. But it was a kid character in a movie that didn't annoy me.
Yeah, he was
No,
never
no.
annoying. It
Yeah.
was-
No, they could have gone. They could have been much worse. It could have gone like the Constantine, iRobot route, and thrown like Shia
Oh, hell
LaBeouf
no.
in there for no fucking reason. They didn't do that, and I'm okay
They
with
gave him a
that.
little bit of a stutter. I thought he was adorable.
Yeah, and he gave him the
No,
little thing to ward off bullies and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I'm not
I
bitching
like
about the
that.
kid. I just
You thought
a
it was
couple minutes
long?
too long. That's all.
Fair enough.
I dug it. I actually dug that whole sequence there in that small town because it's Tony Stark experiencing cold for the first time, it seems, and carrying the
Something tells me he's lived in, Southern California his entire life.
carrying the suit behind him like the coffin from Django.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. And the little back and forth he had with the guy who ran that. The television van.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God,
the,
oh, my God, oh, my God.
the Tony Stark tattoo.
It's based off a doll I
I
made.
don't know if you can tell.
That was funny.
Mom, I gotta go. Something magical is
Nah,
happening.
I mean, I don't have any serious complaints. I mean, there's a couple things that I think could have been better, but overall, I thought it was a great movie.
What'd you guys think of it compared to the other two?
The other two, I think,
First one is still far
Yeah, I liked it better than the second one, but not as good as the first one.
see. I'm one of those people that I think the second one's a fine movie too, but I think
Man,
the first
Yeah, I
one,
like
yeah.
the second one just fine.
the first one, just the simplicity of it works really well, and that's I think the problem with most sequels is they try and take it up a notch every time, and it's like that's not really necessary.
Well, and yeah, I mean, I think, and that's kind of a reason too why like the Spider-Man reboot
yeah,
I was really key on
it was
because
a nice back to basics.
because yeah,
you know?
it wasn't
surprised by how much it turned out.
overly stuffed with shit going on.
I'm really working on the second one.
Which is why I think this really worked that they pulled the switcheroo and actually didn't
Yeah.
have the Mandarin as an actual serious thing to be reckoned with, because then it would have fallen into the same category as like Spider-Man 3 of having so much shit going on that there's no possible way to resolve it all.
And
Even in like 3 hours, they couldn't have figured out a way to like, it's like, now that he's out of the way, time to focus on that Mandarin chap.
yeah, and it didn't seem like it was because like what you guys were just saying about sequels trying to one up the previous one. This one didn't seem like it was trying to one up the second one. It didn't. This one seemed actually a little more scaled back than the second one.
Well, and that's what I think the main problem the main problem I had with the second one, which again, like Dave said, it's a fine movie.
I like the second one. I
But
like this
it-
one better.
If
it
that
was-
had been the first Iron Man movie, I'd been like, that was fucking awesome.
It was trying so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like it was trying so hard to be better than the first one that it kind of overreached its limits.
It did, but it didn't. It wasn't bad though. Like it was a lot, but it wasn't. It wasn't bad. It was better than Spider-Man 3. It
Yeah.
was better than some stuff like that. It was better than Rises. But is this? We were talking about this before the movie and how there aren't that many good part 3s of
Not at all.
This is a
They're like-
really good one.
Honestly, yeah.
X-Men 3.
X-Men 3.
I love Superman 3.
Well,
Superman.
I
you
like
know what?
Superman.
I love it too, but it's not good.
It's not
and
good.
We
I like
know
it
that.
for bad reasons. Like
Yeah.
like here's Christopher Reeve. He's like fixing and then ruining the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Like that's kind of funny. Like it's not a very
Like
good
if you're
movie.
like, hey, I got these new leaning towers. Push. Damn it!
Like stupid shit like that kind of makes that watch. It's not a very good movie, but
No,
it's
yeah.
funny.
Well, it's got Richard
Spider-Man
Pryor.
3.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
Dark Knight Rise.
Rises.
Which, still, fuck you guys. Terrible. It's a piece of shit movie.
It was
hilariously terrible.
No. It was infuriatingly terrible.
maybe it was just because we saw it at midnight.
No.
So late.
Fuck that
We were
excuse.
cranky. Our blood sugar.
That movie
was
just
low.
sucked.
We had a bad cheeseburger beforehand.
Yes.
I think that the main reason, actually, that I like the first one more than the third one, because they're both excellent movies,
Yeah.
is that it seems like the first one, the theme is the armor is kind of there as a method for him to protect his loved ones, where it seems like almost in this third one, they set it up more as a crutch, like something he uses to protect himself from the outside
Oh,
world.
and that's very
kind
much
of
part of
a
the Tony Stark character, actually.
difficult
Yeah, I mean-
message to get past.
Because yeah, I mean, well, there was a good portion in
They
in
completely
the books
dropped
for
the
a while,
heavy
like,
drinking shit, though, which
Yeah.
surprised me.
Yes, I was hoping for some sort of demon in a bottle kind of. At least
that would have been a lot in this movie if they tried to go that
Well, they
way.
did that a lot in the second one. Like,
Right,
they
there's-
tackled that pretty
But they
hardcore.
completely opened it up for the armor wars now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's bits of shit everywhere.
Which I was kind of pleased there towards the end, like the suit he put on to actually go in there to try
Source and Chariot,
to
motherfucker.
yeah, to actually rescue Pepper had like the actual triangle piece and the big fucking like shoulder wings, all 80s and shit. I'm like, it's like
Yeah.
that's my motherfucker right there.
Damn right.
Yeah, I
son.
figured because they
My
had like
favorite
all those
armor.
suits of armor flying around. I'm like, I bet those boys know exactly which each and every one of those armors.
I knew some of them.
I was trying to get a good look at a few of them. Like, I know that Adam was really pissed because of the names that they gave a few of them.
But it wasn't just because they slightly looked like the thing Adam wanted to see. He was mad.
Who was
Well-
the big one with the drill? Because the drills, I've never seen that one.
Neither have I.
He's, I mean,
But that's a
in
Tony
the-
Stark thing, man. He's like, I got one specific need. Fuck it, I'm gonna make a multi-million-dollar suit of armor to do
Yeah.
one thing.
yeah, he's got one
Drill.
for deep sea. He's got one for extreme cold. He's got one for space.
Basics,
but
One
they
for
all
deep
do
space.
all of that
But
shit.
apparently
Yeah.
he didn't have one for extreme heat because every one of those melted like taffy.
Well, he eventually made one.
Well,
Don't forget the stealth.
well, it's but like this. At the end of the day, though, the message of the movie is that this is why you don't have Miguel Ferrer as your vice president.
No, that scumbag.
See?
Though, right
You're
now-
already
right-
jinxing yourself by having Bill Sadler as your president. You throw in Miguel
What-
Ferrer as vice
As soon
president.
as I saw Bill Sadler, I was just like,
That was cool.
Bill Sadler's president? I want to live in this fucked up weird
Yeah.
little universe. Because I fucking love me some Bill Sadler.
They're playing President Bush.
He looked actually.
He changed War
Yeah.
Machine into the Patriot Act.
the
Iron
Iron
Patriot.
Patriot.
It was the Patriot Act.
Which I mean, I did kind of enjoy that. They took Norman Osborn's Iron Patriot concept and kind of tweaked it a little bit. Like
I didn't
like
mind that at all.
I liked that
It
it
worked.
it actually it looked a lot less like Osborn's Iron Patriots from the book, and honestly more like they just tried to figure out how can we paint this thing to make it look exactly like Captain America.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Which
And-
I liked that they kind of tweaked it a little bit in that direction to make it look more Captain America than.
Oh, and that was the idea behind the Iron Patriot. It's just like
Well,
the
yeah.
designers on this movie did a better fucking job.
Yeah.
So am I the only one who read that into it then? That they were trying to do like the President Bush era terrorism thing?
I caught that.
I can see it
It's
now
hard.
that you mention it, but
'Cause,
that
like,
wasn't.
They were talking about like you're in trouble because you were helping all these oil people out.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to look at something like when you have a character named the Iron Patriot like that.
You know, it wasn't like completely overt or anything. It's just
without-
like feels like they're trying to say something here, and I
I kind of
kept
some of
the
the
foggiest
references.
what.
Who's
but
gonna show down with the Iron Sheik?
I watched that on
obviously.
pay-per-view.
And the Iron Chef.
Chankinichi, the chef's one stage.
Yeah, if it's Shigenichi,
Throw the
he's
Iron
screwed.
Giant in there. Did you guys like the scene after the credits?
Oh yeah, that was,
It was
great.
cute.
I like that because of the Avengers. I think they almost feel like they have to make it like a cute scene now.
Yeah.
It's the Science Bros.
Yeah, the
Science
Science Bros.
I want to see a Science Bros movie.
I would watch that.
The little stinger at the end involves Banner,
Yeah.
and it's great.
yeah.
It really is. It's just another thing that made me go, I'm so glad they cast Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, I fucking love Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, so far, like I've loved each of the three, banners for the movies. But I mean, Ruffalo, I still think
He owns it now. It's
Ruffalo
his.
was my favorite
Yeah.
of the three.
Mine too.
he pulls off just both sides of it really well.
Yeah.
Of the three, Ruffalo. I mean, I like Mark Ruffalo about anything I fucking see him and see
Yeah.
you throw Ruffalo in there as Banner. I'm like, he's probably gonna be my favorite.
Yeah.
He pulls off the comedic parts the best. I mean, I've
Yeah.
never actually
Yeah.
seen Edward Norton do comedy, but
I have.
I'm having a hard
You
time
didn't see
choosing.
Death and Smoochie?
Oh,
Seen it
no,
a
I
while.
had,
It was
Or
great.
what was that one we were just talking about the other day?
Oh, the one with him and fucking Ben Stiller's
Yeah.
the
Oh,
priest and the
Keeping
rabbi.
Keeping the Faith.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
oh, it was Jenna Elfman, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one
I think
where
I saw part of that.
I was in Florida, like with my dad and my aunt, and we wanted to go to a movie, and they're like, I think we want to see Keeping the Faith. I'm like, all right, you guys go ahead. I'm gonna go see Gladiator. So I was at Gladiator there at Keeping the Faith, and they were waiting around for my movie to get over with for like 90 minutes.
They went back in, watched it again.
They probably fucking could have.
Let's go keep some more faith.
Keep it all for myself.
And knowing your
You could
dad's
have none of this. Faith.
knowing your dad's taste in movies, he was probably sitting there going, "Should have gone to see Gladiator."
I took him to see Gladiator like a week later.
He's like, "God damn
What
it!"
do you like better?
Probably Gladiator. Well, he was with my aunt, who probably wouldn't have liked Gladiator. I think that's why they wanted to go see Keeping the Faith.
Fuck it.
So you guys recommend the movie?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, me too. You?
Man, I would too. I did have fun with it. It did lose me some with that one reveal,
that, yeah.
but I, as a whole, did have fun with the movie. So yeah.
Yeah, I get it, Alex. I understand the nerd rage. I've had it about things, but in this, I don't think they took it so far.
Dave trying to be the cooler head here in this situation.
But
Hey, it wasn't Dark Knight Returns. I didn't scream out bullshit and leave the theater going, "Batman doesn't fucking quit." One thing he doesn't do.
You gotta one up Dave. You gotta one up Dave and rip your shirt off and scream "nerd rage" like in the Prometheus re-review. Nerd rage.
But before
Don't
you
do
do
it.
that,
You
you
get
gotta
400
write
people
property of
yelling.
Slaver Brian on your chest.
Why do you have that there? Hey, did you
wrote it.
plan on ripping your shirt off?
Well, it's a brand. It's permanent. I mean, you can't get it off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
Brian, you don't want anyone rustling him, so obviously.
He looks so angry.
Oh, Sarah, you took it too far.
Oh, did I?
Hate all of you.
We're just trying to have a good time.
You're rustling. You're going over to my range.
Oh my
The
god.
circle
Gonna
cube.
do the rustle.
yes, sir.
We get yelled at. It's adorable when you.
Remember, he doesn't own slaves anymore.
Anymore.
Fuck all of you.
Brian's still angry about the slaves comments.
Patronizing.
Okay, so what previews did we get? We got Fast and the Furious 6.
Oh, it was a new trailer for Fast and the Furious.
It was.
Yeah. Still with the plane or the plane.
tank.
A tank. There was 50% more tank in this trailer.
Yeah.
The
Although
movie's gonna be
apparently
starring a tank.
I didn't know that a tank could go as fast as like a souped up muscle car, but now I know.
Yeah.
I didn't
Even I knew
It
that.
does when you have a computer doing all the effects.
Chris's car's like, hey, well, I was sighing sadly to myself during that preview because apparently me and Jillian are going to go see it.
Brad might have to go. It's got Statham.
And Brad turns to me and he goes, Sarah, don't worry. It's going to be really homoerotic.
Can't you tell? They're
I'm like-
totally gonna bang in that movie.
God damn it, you know me too well.
See?
Yeah,
So I'm going to sit there, cross my fingers, they're going to start making out any
They're gonna
minute.
start making out. They're gonna start making out.
I just think that a good indicator that maybe they've made too many of these is
Is the fact
that
it's called Fast and Furious 6.
Well, I mean, there is that. But no, the other day I was at the store and I saw that they had like all these like color coded matching Blu-rays for it.
Yeah.
But then on the first one it actually says, The Fast and the Furious, the original.
Nice.
Like,
Fast
Oh.
and the Furious, Chronicles of Riddick.
I would watch that.
I would too.
Because then it would have Carl Urban in it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Oh, we got Star Trek. So
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
it was-
trailer was
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
we got more Cumberbatch on it, and
Yeah.
it kind of explained a little bit more about what's going on. I still have no idea what's going on.
No, yeah.
Either. I'm fine with
fucking
that.
that voice dude has
Yeah.
though is insane.
Which, Cumberbatch?
Yeah.
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 Oh god, it's intense.
So
Uh-huh.
posh and evil.
the 3D in that trailer was way better than the 3D in Iron Man.
Yeah.
Don't pay to see it in 3D.
It was it was a
going
conversion, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't.
Good.
It was.
Necessary.
It was like.
It was completely unnecessary.
It was like. If you take the glasses off, it's blurry. You put the glasses on. Oh, cool! It's now in 2D.
yeah.
That's it.
To be perfectly honest, watch that movie. I just
Forgot.
forgot it was
Yeah, I
in 3D.
forgot I was
Yeah.
getting. Until I started getting a headache, I forgot I was wearing the
I
glasses.
never got a
Yeah.
headache, but it was that it don't
Yeah.
pay the extra money to see
It's
it in
not worth
3D.
Hey,
Wolverine. We got
the Wolverine. Okay, you know what?
Looks better than Origin.
I'm half excited about that movie because I have faith in the people that are in it, and James Mangold is one of those hit or miss guys for me, where like 70% of the time I like the shit he does. The other 30% it's like, oh god, that's garbage. That trailer looks terrible though.
Yeah.
That trailer looks really bad, and I'm just hoping that the movie is better than the trailer.
I think
It looks like it's
like
going to be
it
on
will
FX in like a
be.
year.
I think that there's in that
yeah.
trailer. I'm not saying it's a great trailer, but that trailer does have a certain level
Because-
of ambition. You can tell it's slightly more ambitious
Well, and-
than
and-
Origins.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
It's
but shoot,
it's
like-
absolutely more ambitious, and from what I've heard about the plot of that movie, it's not what's in that trailer. Like, from what I understand, the movie is actually like that's a part of it,
Yeah.
but the movie's a little more geared towards like dudes like me and Alex and Brian that read like the Chris Claremont, Frank Miller miniseries
That
and
it's
shit.
like a samurai story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a little hyped. They finally made his hair look not stupid as fuck and made it still look like Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good
feel
point.
like it relatively
Yeah.
speaking.
his
That's a
hair
good
doesn't
point.
look stupid as fuck, and he still looks like Wolverine.
Yeah.
I'm a little excited about that. And then we got the new Thor trailer, which
Yeah.
I think it looks fucking great.
Tending was
I
only in
agree.
it for like a second.
Thank God.
I just
Maybe
like
she'll do something.
whoever's doing the costume designs and the directing and shit on this movie. It's like, oh, wow, it looks a little medieval now.
Yeah, I like that it looks darker.
Yeah.
Looks a little grittier. I kind of
It
like
looks
that.
like more of it's in Asgard this time.
Well, from what I
it's-
understand, they
it's-
go to like all 9 of the realms.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say
okay.
like it's
Right.
probably in the other realms.
Yeah.
Mhm. When does that come out?
That's
that later this
November.
November.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it seemed good. Like it actually did remind me of.
Thor.
Well, yeah, it honestly
It's
did.
just like Thor.
Well, I mean,
But again,
it honestly seemed a lot more like what you'd see actually in the books because a lot of it
Yeah.
did do.
Epic fantasy story.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a big journey into mystery.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I liked the first Thor movie, but it was just it was
too.
like they were trying to. It really seemed like they were trying to make it fit into the Marvel universe that they've been building and make it accessible.
Yeah.
And they almost took that too far.
Well, I mean, they basically kind of just like bootstrapped his origin onto
Yeah.
like the Hammerfall.
Yeah.
Which works. I mean, they mangle a bunch of stuff together for a lot of these movies. Shut up.
Do you want to do like I do?
no,
Do you
yeah,
wanna
no,
just-
totally.
Well,
They bootstrapped his origin onto the Hammerfall.
Oh,
you
and
see, after Ragnarok.
oh man.
That's it. I think
Is this
they
going to be on the
should bring-
test?
Who's that doofus in the Thor universe? Is it Hercules?
Well, Hercules is in the Marvel books, but yeah, they kind of have like a running rivalry.
Okay, they should bring him in.
That would be.
I will always root for the doofus.
I would want-
Hercules is a fucking raging alcoholic. In the
I would
comics.
fucking love to see like a Hercules and Amadeus
Yeah.
show movie.
Bring in Mad Mardigan, for the love of God. Please.
He's all poofy now, though.
Ah, he's old Mad Mardigan. He's fine.
It's Gay Paris.
Yeah. See?
What was that other trailer we got that I thought looked really good that you guys were worried was going to suck?
White House down.
White House
But
down.
that trailer was way
Okay.
better than
Okay,
the one that
we've-
they've been
Was
showing.
it? Okay, because I thought it
Yeah.
looked
That looked
adorable.
like-
They recut it to make it a comedy, and it looks great.
Yeah. Like
I kept waiting for like fucking Bad to the Bone to kick in.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I think I got the job.
Right. Someone needs to recut that fucking trailer to add that song to the goddamn trailer. The first trailer for the thing made it look like just like, oh, it's
Super
like
serious
it's like
drama.
Olympus Has Fallen, but without like all the fun. And now this
Yeah.
trailer's really comedic. And I don't even like fucking Channing Tatum, but he's going around the thing like, God damn it, I shouldn't be doing this. He's in the library. Fuck, I guess I gotta go to the goddamn
stupid.
fucking
This is so fucking
library.
stupid.
This is fucking stupid. Like, that's kind of funny. It was a funny trailer.
They're like, they're on the elevator, and the president's like, yeah, we can go to the cache. It's like, all right, where's the cache? It's like, it's back up that way. Oh, fucking course it is.
How do you lose a fucking rocket launcher? Like, that trailer was significantly better than the other one.
It's still gonna be an
That.
amazing piece of garbage.
No,
I hope it's
I don't
good
think it's gonna be
garbage, though.
It's
like the
Roland
kind of
Emmerich.
garbage you find where like, oh, that half-eaten donut still looks kind of good. All right.
Yeah, I like how
Yeah.
I like how Roland Emmerich can manage to make a movie that isn't about aliens or natural disasters and still blow up every monumental style
Yeah.
building in Washington D.C.
Not only that, but put it in the title. In the title, the White House is blowing up.
Yeah. What's that mean? Like, when they recut a preview, that's usually a bad sign for that particular movie. But
Oh, yeah.
the preview I
Yeah.
watched looked good.
Yeah, I mean, granted, the other preview was more of a teaser than this.
But it
than
was
this
taking it
one.
really
But
seriously.
It was taking it seriously.
But so I mean, you can cut any movie to look like a good comedy. I mean, there's all those like
the Shining recut.
yeah, there's all those ones that are up on YouTube that people have done themselves. But even like the trailer for the fucking Weatherman, I'm like, wow, that looks like kind of a funny movie.
Oh.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
David. The fucking voice they gave Michael Caine.
I liked that movie. Fuck
I
you guys.
could not
They call her
fucking stand
Camel
the
Toe.
Weatherman.
Do you know what a camel toe is, David?
As I tell, Jesus Christ, I could not stand
Yeah,
the
it's a
fucking
Reese's
Weatherman. Ooh,
Yay!
Anybody else?
yeah, I'll take
Alright.
some.
All right.
Excellent.
This review is brought to you by Reese's Pieces.
You see those things I got at the store now, like those little like bits?
Snack break.
They've got one that's Heath,
Yeah.
but I can't resist calling them Heath's Pieces.
Jesus.
Oh my god, the Reese's Pieces!
That's not funny, man.
It's funny if you know it.
No,
Dave
that-
takes
it's
his
never
candy
funny.
serious.
Well, the sad parts they don't taste like Heath.
Oh.
Yeah, they're the same consistency as like these. Like I was expecting like nice hard
A little more
crunchy toffee
Is that
pieces.
butterscotch.
Is that what he tastes like? I don't know. I never met him.
Bar har har.
Sorry. What the fuck?
Candy.
One of the slaves.
Oh, of course. What are you looking at me for? He said it.
You
Fight,
fucking
fight, fight.
started this.
I was just egging it on.
I didn't know it would become a thing.
You just really, really hoped.
Sure, if I take that tape back, I can see you crossing your fucking fingers.
Oh please, let this turn into a thing.
Did we get any other previews? I'm trying to think.
Monsters University.
Ooh, that was cute. There was a billboard.
It was the actual trailer that it was a completely different trailer than the million other Monster University trailers I've seen.
I still really like the one that just seems like a normal like.
You know what? I like that
College,
too,
like-
but I've seen it 80 fucking times this year. I'm fucking done.
Yeah, there
This
was
one
a
kind of
lot
made it
of
look
them.
more like every other college movie ever made, just with monsters in it.
Well, yeah, it's
And
Animal.
rated
It's Animal
PG.
House with monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, dude, if they release it with a hard R, right on. I mean, the other trailer was fine, but it's one of those like. I don't know how much I have to say about that trailer. It's not like any of us are gonna be at that one. Like, it's Jake.
We'll ask Jake and Irving how it
Yeah,
was.
we'll ask Jake and Irving how it went.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll like it better than Planes.
They'd have to.
Smurfs too. And it's funny since Jake doesn't have like a Facebook or anything like that. I get all of his messages, which means I have about 80 messages at the least, with links to the Smurfs 3 IMDb page.
Have you sent him any of them?
Oh, I will. No, he needs to start a Facebook page so I can send it to him.
Oh yeah, that'll be the way to convince him.
Dude, I've got so many messages about Smurfs 3 to send you. You gotta sign up for Facebook, dude. I think that's about it. Do we got anything else?
Well, there was one thing that I. It's a really stupid thing, but I really fucking enjoyed. Whoever came up with it, I tip my hat to them. The beginning part of the end credits, where it made it look
Yes.
like
Oh,
Iron
yes.
Man was like a 1975 cop fucking miniseries.
That was fun. That was good. And
Like, I
also
expected, like-
spelling out 3.
Yeah, Iron Man
3. That was funny.
But yeah, just like the styling of it, I really liked that. I kept waiting for it to it's like, and William Shatner as T.J. Hooker.
Oh man, they brought back Adrian Zemed. It's about fucking time. The hell's he been?
But no,
Still shot of all of them laughing.
I really enjoyed the way they cut that together. Just made it look all like suddenly Iron Man 3 turns into like a grindhouse movie.
Yeah, I dug that too. That was fun. It's like that was kind of cool because it was like we know people are gonna stay during the ending credits. We might as well put something really entertaining in here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was doubly jarring because the actual end of the movie left me kind of, wait, what? Because, like,
What happened to really?
At the end, he's like, turns out I'm not Iron Man anymore. Don't need it. Bye, guys. And then drives off in his car.
Nobody still said I am Iron Man.
On the inside. He's Iron Man in his soul. And we're like, all right, except until the next movie.
Well, I'm sure probably what they were leading to, because I kept waiting for it to actually happen in the movie, was
The Extremis.
was him actually upgrading himself with the Enhancile and basically
Was
becoming.
that from the comic book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe I was just missing something. Maybe
well,
that
because
was
it comes to a
the
point where like it's just like the one thing that's annoying about the suit is he has to always have it with him, or like that's why like he started making the ones like oh yeah, it can kind of like magnet pull itself to me, but like that one scene like he was sitting there waiting for like 10 minutes like vamping with those guys until the suit finally fucking made it there across country.
Any minute now. I'll let you give yourself up. Just tie yourself to those chairs.
Because
Yeah.
before, like, even before that, like, he even had, like, in the comics, he was always carrying around, like, a giant briefcase
yeah.
full of the armor, which is, I mean, they kind of alluded to in the second one, but that little, like, strap-on
Oh, yeah.
suitcase armor. But, yeah, he eventually kind of enhances himself with that,
It becomes like a liquid metal that he keeps in his body.
Aha.
and basically reworks all of his organs and shit to where he basically functions at peak performance all
Next
the
one
time.
better have
another-
fun roller skates.
And, like,
I'll be pissed.
interacts with the suit just by thought. Like, he doesn't have to control it.
That was another thing too that reminded me of Lee when he's strapped up there. I'm like, oh shit! Any minute now, Endo's gonna come up again.
That would have been
Half-ball
so
bastard.
awesome if Endo walked in.
Yeah, it's like, sweet, he's still alive. What do we got next week? And the
Gatsby.
Gatsby. Oh, and Peoples.
There you go.